Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Podcast Home. Today, we are talking about confidence and how you can build it step by step.
Yes, we will share simple ideas, real-life experiences, and easy tips to help you feel more confident in speaking English. Let's get started.
Hi, Sarah. Today, I want to talk about something very important: confidence. For me, confidence means believing in yourself. It means you trust your ideas and you are not afraid to speak, even if your English is not perfect. Confidence is not about being perfect. It is about trying without fear.
That's interesting, Adam. I think confidence is something I still struggle with. Sometimes I feel shy, especially when I speak English with new people. My heart beats fast and I start thinking, what if I make a mistake?
Yes, that's very common. Many people feel like that. But confidence grows slowly. For example, when you speak every day, even small sentences, you start feeling more comfortable. Confidence in daily life is also important, like talking to a shopkeeper, meeting new people, or sharing your opinion.
I agree. I remember one time I had to introduce myself in front of a group. I was so nervous. My voice was shaking and I forgot some words. That moment really showed me how low my confidence was.
That's a good example. But let me ask you something. When do you feel most confident?
I feel more confident when I talk to my close friends or family. I don't worry about mistakes because they understand me. Also, when I prepare before speaking, I feel a little more confident.
That makes sense. Preparation helps a lot. For me, I feel confident when I talk about topics I know well. Also, when I practice regularly, I don't overthink too much. I just speak naturally.
So I think the difference is clear. When we are confident, we speak more freely, we smile, and we don't worry too much. But when we are not confident, we stay quiet, we think too much, and we feel nervous.
Exactly. Confidence changes how we act and how we speak. Even our body language is different. Confident people look relaxed, but not confident people look tense and unsure.
But why do you think people lose confidence so easily?
I think one big reason is fear. Fear of making mistakes or fear of what others will think. Also, comparing ourselves to others can make us feel less confident.
Yes, I do that sometimes. When I see someone speaking English very well, I feel like I am not good enough.
Sarah, I think one of the biggest reasons people lose confidence in English speaking is fear, especially the fear of making mistakes. People want to speak perfectly, and when they can't, they feel disappointed and stop trying.
Yes, that's true. But Adam, why do people feel so afraid of mistakes? Everyone is learning, right?
You're right, but many people also have fear of judgment. They think others will laugh at them or think they are not smart. This fear becomes very strong, and it stops them from speaking. Another reason is lack of practice. If you don't speak regularly, you don't feel comfortable, and your confidence goes down.
I can relate to that. I remember one situation where I felt really embarrassed. I was talking to someone in English and I used the wrong word. The person looked confused and I suddenly felt very nervous. I stopped speaking and just smiled. After that, I didn't want to speak English for a few days.
I understand that feeling, Sarah. Something similar happened to me, too. One time I was speaking in front of a small group and I forgot simple words. My mind went blank. I felt everyone was watching me and I became very uncomfortable. That moment affected my confidence for some time.
It's interesting how one small mistake can affect us so much. We start thinking too much about it again and again.
Exactly. That's called overthinking. We repeat the situation in our mind and make it bigger than it really is. Instead of learning from the mistake, we feel worse about ourselves.
And sometimes we also compare ourselves to others. When I see someone speaking English fluently, I think, why can't I speak like that? It makes me feel less confident.
That's a very common problem. But comparing yourself to others is not fair. Everyone has a different learning journey. Some people have more practice, more exposure, or more time. We should focus on our own progress.
Yes, I think when we compare too much, we forget how far we have already come.
Exactly. And the truth is, mistakes are not a bad thing. They're actually a very important part of learning. Every mistake teaches you something new.
I agree. When I think about it, I learn more from my mistakes than from being perfect. But still, it's not easy to accept mistakes in the moment.
That's true.
It takes time. But if we
So, Sarah, now let's talk about something practical: how to build confidence step by step. I think the first and most important thing is daily practice. Even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes, speaking every day really helps.
That sounds simple, but many beginners don't know how to start. Adam, how can beginners start if they feel shy or don't have anyone to talk to?
That's a great question. Beginners can start with very simple steps. For example, they can practice in front of a mirror. When you speak to yourself, you feel less pressure. You can also talk about your daily routine in simple sentences.
That's interesting. So, even talking alone can help build confidence?
Yes, absolutely. Another helpful way is to speak slowly. Many learners try to speak fast, and they make more mistakes. If you speak slowly, you have more time to think, and your sentences become clearer.
I think that's very important. Sometimes I try to speak fast to sound fluent, but I get confused.
Exactly. Fluency comes with time, not speed. Also, thinking simple is very helpful. Don't try to use difficult words. Use easy and clear sentences. Communication is more important than using big vocabulary.
That makes sense. I also think talking to friends can help. When I speak with people I feel comfortable with, I feel more relaxed and confident.
Yes, that's a great tip. Talking to friends or even language partners is very useful. Another thing is listening daily, like podcasts, conversations, or videos. When you listen more, you understand how English sounds, and it becomes easier to speak.
I also want to add something. Positive thinking is very important. If you always think, I can't do this, your confidence will go down. But if you tell yourself, I am learning, I will improve, it really helps.
That's a powerful point, Sarah. Your mindset shapes your confidence. And also, we should not be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are part of the journey.
Yes, I agree. Maybe we can show a small example of shy speaking and confident speaking?
Good idea. Let's try. I'll speak like a shy person first. Uh, Hello, my name Adam. I live in city. You can see I am stopping a lot and not sure.
Yes, it sounds very nervous. Now try confident speaking.
Okay. Hello, my name is Adam. I live in the city and I enjoy learning English every day. You see, it's simple but clear and smooth. That's a big difference.
Sarah, now let's talk about how confidence changes over time. In my opinion, confidence is not something you get in one day. It grows slowly with practice and experience. The more you use English, the more comfortable you become.
That's interesting, Adam. So you're saying confidence is like a journey, not a quick result?
Exactly. At the beginning, you feel nervous and unsure, but after some time, when you practice regularly, you start noticing small improvements. You speak a little better, you understand more, and slowly your confidence increases.
I think I can feel that already. Before, I was very scared to speak even simple sentences, but now I can speak more easily, even if I still make mistakes. That's a great example of growth. Experience plays a big role. Every time you speak, you learn something new. Even difficult situations help you become stronger. I like that idea. But sometimes people still feel afraid. What should they do in that moment?
I think the best mindset is simple. Don't be afraid, just try. Fear will always be there, but if you keep waiting for the perfect time, you will never start. Action is more important than perfection.
That's very true. I realized that waiting for perfection actually stopped me from improving. Now I understand that trying is more important than being perfect.
Exactly. When you try again and again, your fear becomes smaller. Confidence comes from action, not from thinking too much.
Today I learned something important. I learned that confidence is built step by step. I also learned that mistakes are not a problem. They are part of learning. From now on, I will try to speak more without fear.
That's a great mindset, Sarah. And I want to say something to our listeners too. Don't give up. Every small step you take is progress. Even if you feel slow, you are still moving forward. Yes,